Welcome to a new story. On November 27, 2006, there was a cleaner working at the train station in the city of Shabra al-Khaimah in Egypt. The cleaner was checking the train rail, but he was surprised to see the body of a child thrown at the train rail. The cleaner approached the body and discovered that the victim's face was completely deformed. The cleaner was very panicked and scared, and he immediately called the police and told them about it. Police arrived at the train station and began investigating and gathering evidence. They found the victim to be a 12-year-old child, and that the victim was raped several times, after which the victim was thrown on the train rail. Let's start by analyzing the story in order to find out what happened. 2 hours after the crime was discovered, the police received 2 other reports of bodies at different train stations. There was a body at Alexandria City train station. The other body was at Tanta City train station, but the shock was when they knew that the bodies were also 12-year-olds and that they were also raped before dying. The detectives thought the killer responsible for all the crimes was a serial killer. Because the crimes were similar and committed in the same way, the police carried out an extensive search to ensure that there were no more bodies. And here was the shock. They found 17 bodies of children who had been raped and killed. But who is responsible for these crimes, and why did they target children? The police began gathering evidence and investigators began analyzing the crime scene. They found that someone with criminal records had been at the train station a few hours before the crime occurred. Ramadan Rahim Mansour, that's his full name, and his nickname was the Turbine. He was born in Tanta in 1980, and he lived in a very poor family. He had to leave school and he started working in a cafe inside the train station. The owner of the cafe was a bad guy. He was taking advantage of the Turbine kid. One day there was a dispute between the owner of the coffee shop and the Turbine. And the owner of the cafe was quiet and asked the Turbine to accompany him to the roof of the train for entertainment. When they got to the roof of the train, the owner of the cafe raped the Turbine and threw it from the top of the train. The Turbine hit the train rail and was hit in the eye. The Turbine was hospitalized for a month. After he recovered and was discharged, he was a very depressed person. And then he decided to become an evil person and wanted revenge in the same way, and he became a bad person and started to seek to rape children. The Turbine left the city and lived in another city, and there he joined the criminal gangs and learned how to rape and kill children. He began in 1999 by luring the children to the train station on the pretext that he wanted to make them watch the train from above. And there he was raping them, threatening that he would kill them if they told the police. If the child wanted to tell the police, the Turbine would kill him and hide the body. The Turbine continued to commit crimes for 7 years, and the police were able to arrest one of the displaced children. This kid was in the Turbine gang, and he told the police that the Turbine had committed many murders and rapes. He told them about another child's involvement, and the police also arrested him. They investigated him, and the police confirmed this information, and they also admitted that the Turbine had tried to rape a child in 2005, and that the child had told the police. The police then arrested the Turbine for sexual harassment, but they investigated him and could not convict him. They released him, and the Turbine searched for the child who told the police. When he found him, he started hitting him and then he raped him, and he asked the gang to rape him, too. They continued to rape the child for 6 continuous hours, after which they threw the child at the water drainage station and the child drowned and died in front of the gang members' eyes. The police were able to know all the gang, and they were able to know where the Turbine was hiding. The police arrested them all. The turbine was unrepentant about what he did. He was cooperating with the investigators. He was ready to help the police find the rest of the bodies. The turbine said he killed 32 children. This is just the number of victims he remembers. The turbine was sentenced to death, and 3 other people, ranked with the world's most dangerous thugs and criminals, and executed in 2007. This is the end of our story today. I hope you're impressed. Don't forget to support our channel now. Good night.